waited around every corner.
I woke up to my own adventure book, having no idea what was up next. Each page was different. Every chapter, a new surprise. All I could do was go along for the ride. Trust my gut and let the story unfold. Because here, the best travel plan is to make no plans and just let life happen.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets, and unforgettable eats, a celebration of flavor in every bite, and an epic new party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. I strolled through its lush gardens and saw every little wonder up close. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the appetite. Walls that hold heroes' stories told me of their bravery, while sacred places blessed my journey. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning.
Once I woke up in a hidden place. Paradise unlike anything I had ever seen. And not the kind from fantasy, but one you could really sink your toes into. I walked beaches few had ever walked before, while the waves whispered their secrets. This place was my buried treasure. And even though I couldn't stay forever, the story of the islands never leaves me.
nouvelle aventure de votre vie.
I just woke up in a non-stop action scene where we're always at the edge of our seats, defying gravity one moment to communing with giants and getting lost in the lights the next. After feeling the heat, and I mean really feeling the heat, we finally regained our balance. And found our epic finale.
Welcome back to Boracay, the peaceful oasis where lasting memories are weaved. As the Philippines slowly reopens with care, the island paradise is now ready to welcome more local travelers. The Better Boracay. Indulge in the new, clean, and safe haven. With strict health and safety protocols in place, you can leave your worries behind. Where only certified establishments operate to let you stay, dine, and play with a peace of mind. Experience hospitality with the utmost consideration and care. Spend quality time relaxing on the world-famous white beaches. Wake up to a better Boracay. Welcome back.
Every day, I wake up to a feast. Where I can sink my teeth in history. Or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness. Expanded my pantry and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, so before we start our synchronous session, let us have an open prayer, no? Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, Amen.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Okay, good morning once again. How are you guys? Have you already taken your breakfast? Nakakuha na ba mo? Naka-breakfast? A moments aha ka diyo. Okay, so previously our synchronous session was about we haven't met Mano yet last week. So I sent you a video presentation of the last topic of module 2. So with the video and with the topic last pag the meeting about um, setting or looking for an opportunity or business opportunity, that is like a preparatory stage for you to create a business plan. So business plan is the culminating output of this course. So all we have to do now from this day on up to the pre-final would be creation or would be the creation of the business plan. So please don't worry because in creating the business plan, we will create it slowly but surely. So I wouldn't give you a a deliverable no that you could not create. Uh, that is why we have to progressively do the business plan so that at the end of the semester you wouldn't have to worry because you already have the set of courseworks, no? So this would be the culminating output, the business plan, but we have to do it slowly. Okay? But before doing that, there will be theoretical underpinnings that I have to discuss first before doing it, before applying those theories into in the creation of business plan. Okay, venturing into a new business. Of course, as an entrepreneur, that means entering into the business world. So you are new into the business, or doing any form of innovation in tourism organization, not just in tourism organization, but also in the conventional and traditional business enterprise. It always demands a plan, no? A plan that is well researched and well done, no? Um, as it is an insurance against elusive success that every entrepreneur is looking forward to. So, preparing a business plan is not easy. You have to work in a group, no? In definition, it is a well written, honest to goodness document, prepared, of course, by tourism entrepreneur. But this time, it will be prepared by you, students. Um, the very reason of creating a business plan is, of course, to convince the investors to invest in your undertaking or invest in your initiative or in your proposed project, no? And then it's also a tool to sell your business to financial resources and should be recognized, of course, by local government unit, and also if there would be external funding, such as the non-government organization. If your business enterprise or tourism enterprise is leading towards helping the community, so you may need a really rigorous plan for the investors to say, yes, okay, I will fund um, your project proposal. Okay, so it is the direction, no, and guide. It's a blueprint of every entrepreneur as to what is to be done and how it should be done. It entails what to achieve over a certain period of time. That's basically the theories, no, and underpinnings, theoretical underpinnings of the business plan. The learning objectives for this synchronous session, we have two. We will identify the importance of business planning and its advantages, as well as the step-by-step procedure in preparing a business plan. And then we also we would also enumerate the factors and other necessities on how to manage and start a business successfully. Looking at the um, definition, it is a written document prepared by the entrepreneur that describes all the relevant external and internal elements involved in starting a new venture. Um, Mind me asking, the from the definition, what is now the importance of a business plan? Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to have a business plan first before venturing into or before implementing um, the proposed project? Why do we need to plan with our peers, with our coworker? Why do we need to set a blueprint for our activities? Or do you have any definition of what is a business plan for you? How could it help your, of course, your social entrepreneurship project, or your project in tourism policy planning and development? Diba? You have to create a plan, man. You need to have a plan in your TPD and in your social entrepreneurship. That is why you have a conceptual plan. Here we have a business plan. And in your TPD, you have your development plan. So why do we need to have a plan in the first place? Anyone? This is a simple question, no? But just to set the mood of this morning, because it's 7:45. So anyone who has an idea of why do we need to have a plan, or maybe just define in your own idea or opinion, what is a plan? It could be an answer leading towards your tourism entrepreneurship preparations, no, or your social entrepreneurship preparations. How did you plan your social enterprise, or how would you plan your tourism enterprise? Why do you need to plan? And for you, what is a plan? Okay? Sige daw. A moment sa ha. Okay, do you have an answer now? Why do we need to plan in creating our project proposal? Hello, are you there? Is everyone sleeping?
Sir,
Yes.
um, we need we need a plan, sir. It is important to have a plan because it serves as a foundation, sir, like to help
Mm-hmm.
you in targeting your project objectives and then at the same time achieve your goals.
Ha? Bibi, ayo. Hal- Wait, yeah, no, that is yes, you are right, Miss Sanchez, Miss Antoinette. We need to have a plan in order to set our akong iro basa mo kaayo. Sorry. Uh, in order to set and target our objectives. So that's right. That's very good. By definition, Mr. or Dr. Robert Hisrich and Michael Peters, they define it as a written document. But in the real world, it is an integration of functional plans, such as, of course, we need to create a marketing collaterals, marketing plans, our financial objectives, of course, our human resources and how will we pick our employees, no? And it also addresses, of course, the short-term and long-term decisions. So that's the business plan. Ako iro basa mo kaayo. Okay. Um, Another one is from David Gumpert. No, a business plan is a document. It's still a document, no, that convincingly demonstrates the ability of a business to sell its product or services, to make satisfactory profit, and be attractive to potential backers. So for him, a business plan is selling your document, selling your output that conveys excitement, no, and promise of your business to any potential backers or stakeholders. So in your social entrepreneurship, that is creating a conceptual plan or a concept plan and then presenting it to the local government unit or maybe the non-government organization to subsidize or to back up that plan, that it will be materialized and will be implemented. So that's also the definition or business plan as defined by Dr. Gomper. Um, Other definition of business plan is that it is ahead of objectives, strategies, um, financing, production, marketing, your profit, your prospect, and your growth possibility. However, business planning should be realistic. This means planning is based on the available resources and is responsive, of course, to the needs of the community. Because you cannot just create a business plan that would not work to your target market or would not work to your target group if it's social entrepreneurship. So, your tourism enterprise or your social enterprise should be conducive to the needs of your target market. Okay? It also, in planning, it also or would tell you what to do, what are the key activities, no, prior for the implementation of the business plan. A moment. V. What's up, buddy? Okay. Sama ka po, no? And how to do it, how to do your project proposal. So you have series of key activities and outcomes, and when to do, you have to set time frame. You have to create time frame, Gantt chart, in order for you to um, keep track, no, on your on your plan, and then what to expect. This would be meeting your target. And then we have principles of planning. So these four could really help us in the planning stage. Now, first, it must be realistic. It must be based on the available resources, such as your human capital. Who would be your employees? Are these employees could really help your company? Should have also realistic financial projections, no, and your physical resources. Next is flexibility. Mm, resources needs and economic conditions change, so you have to be very flexible in your planning. Like, before you would even implement that planning or that plan, you have to create set of alternative courses of actions, like option A, option B, option C, because the trend of the market really changes. So your plan should be flexible, that it would work in different ways. So if the trend of tourism industry is something like this, so you could easily adapt the trend, no? So your plan should be flexible, and then based on the felt needs. So the objective of an entrepreneur should fit the needs of the people in a community. Of course, to where will you create your product or your service? It's always your customers, no? So it can be known through observation. You go to the environment, you go to your potential location and do personal interviews to the people. You could also administer questionnaire, um, just to make sure that they would really that they will really not prioritize, but that they have this sense of excitement on your proposed product or proposed service. No, so in your questionnaire, Manggod, you can create now, you can measure now if the customer of if your potential target market really needs or want your product. So if not, then you have to ideate again. You have to create another product again, just to or you have to conceptualize again another product just to make sure that it is the need of your target market or the community. And of course, start no with simple projects. Don't don't move to a complex project now because you are just starting. So with practice, rigorous practice, you will be perfect now, and then you will be ready for complex projects or big projects. We have here the stages of business planning. So first is the unplanned stage. This is where the owner, or the manager is busy looking for funds, looking for customers, looking for materials and equipment. He or she has no time yet for planning. His entire attention is devoted to the daily operations of his business in the light of survival. So no planning, but more on the day-to-day activities. Next is the budgeting system stage. Eventually, the owner will realize the need to develop and use a budgeting system. This is an estimated income is to be made to facilitate the order of the function of the growing enterprise. In this stage, the business owner will realize that financial sustenance is really important, financial sustainability. So he or she is now um, looking forward for his business to sustainably operate. And then we have the annual planning stage. Here in this stage, the owner manager drafts an annual plan. No, he can use either the um, top-down planning or bottom-up planning. When we say top-down planning approach, he provides the goal, he provides the objectives, and let the employee comply with it. When we say bottom-up, he encourages his employees to participate in planning and strategies. So that's the annual planning stage. Now, the last stage is the strategic planning stage. As the business enterprise becomes bigger, there will be a long range planning is needed because in this stage, you will encounter many competitors, many threats, many environmental factors that could possibly halt the success of your business. So you have to create strategic management, not just financially, but also looking into your human resource, your operations, and even your marketing collaterals, marketing tools. So that is basically one of the most important stage in business planning, the strategic planning stage. Okay. Next is of course, in planning a business, you have to check the criteria if all your undertakings, your key activities meet the business planning criteria. So here are the criteria in creating a plan, not just in business, but it could also be used in different types of planning, such as your conceptual plan in your social entrepreneurship, and your development plan in your tourism planning, tourism policy planning and development. First is state a clear objective. No, objective is a clear statement. It is necessary so that um, those who will be involved in the execution of the plan will understand, accept, and support your proposal. Okay, so when you're creating an objective later on, maybe next week or next week, you will now be starting to create your business plan, such as your mission, vision, your logo, um, creating the objective. So please only one or two sentences, and it should be clear. No? The mission and the vision should be on your objective, and it should be clearly stated. Number two, provide measures for satisfactory accomplishment of the objectives, you know, in terms of the quantity, the quality, the time, and cost. It should be measurable. And then you have this policies. No, there should be a policies that should guide the people in attaining the objectives. Because sometimes if we create an objective, just creating without guidelines, without policies, there will be no there will be no series of guidelines that the employees or the executive committee could could follow. So that is why in implementing, executing your objective, you have to also to create policies and guidelines. Okay, that's number three. Next is indicate the department involved in the objectives. So um, it should indicate the department or unit that would be involved in accomplishing the objectives. It may or may not spell out the procedure for the performing the required work. In a business or in your social entrepreneur, in your social entrepreneurship conceptual plan, or in your here in your business plan, you will create different departments, different unit. So you have to indicate what department should who should create a plan for this objective. So for example, for marketing department, you will do the promotion. For human resource department, you will be the one um, conceptualizing on how to accept employees, and in operations you will be the one responsible on the distribution, you know, of our service or our products, either tangible or intangible. And then indicate the time. The plan should have a time frame. No, um, it may be necessary to target data for completing the activity, and that is why in your business tools, hopefully, um, you have used the digital calendar, no, like Google Calendar or your cloud calendar, because trend now is you no longer rely on your um, kinesha physical business or physical sa tawag ano niya calendar, but more on your smartphone, your email. So make use, no, of the digital calendar, and also create a Gantt chart or a time frame for all your activities. Next is specify the required resources. The plan should specify the corresponding costs, and what would be the cost of example. I don't know your concepts yet, but the cost implication, that is one of your resources, and you have to specify that. How much would be your capital, how much human resources you need to run your business, something like that. And then designate officers. No, the plan should designate officers who will be held accountable for the accomplishment of the objectives. So you may need to create a organizational structure or chart, and each of these officers has a responsibility and a role to play. And then we have the components of business planning. So with this, in planning, this should be present. No? Di siya pwede nga dili na siya, nga wala na siya. So first is the SWOT. I know that you have encountered many times on how to create a SWOT. But let me just um kuan lang with you, discuss it with you, just an overview or just a simple recall on what is SWOT analysis. Your product or services later on could be evaluated to or with the SWOT analysis framework, because every product and services has its weakness, strength, opportunity, and um, threats. No? So planning should include the improvement of the product or service in order to survive the competition. SWOT analysis is not only putting all the information in strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat, but um, making use of those strengths, exploiting that in favor of your enterprise, looking into the weaknesses, and creating mitigating activities to, of course, improve, and enhance your employees' weaknesses or your product and service weaknesses. And opportunities, yes, um, exploit and use that opportunity for your advantage. And threats, create another mitigating or contingency plan in order to counteract possible threats in your business. So that's basically what is all about. Now we have the objectives. This should be, of course, specific and realistic. Um, Such objectives can be done daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or annually. So every you have set of objectives. Like for example, in this period, we have to do something like this, and with this month, we have to target 30% growth of our sales, 30% growth of our employees' performance, something like that. So that's the objective. And then your strategies. No, these are ways of accomplishing the objectives. You have to create a series of training, series of workshop in your employees, series of prototyping, just to meet and target your objectives. And then you have time frame. In business time, um, time is really gold. It's very important. For this reason, an entrepreneur must be efficient in time management. Okay, so please, you may create a Gantt chart. You may set your meetings in advance so that your employees could calendar already the possible meeting. So in creating your business, please don't marabag ayo lang ibaliwala no the importance of time. So you have to be keen on the details of time management. And then this would be your asynchronous, asynchronous activity. You don't have to answer now because this is synchronous. But in your asynchronous, in order for you to prepare your business plan next meeting, you have to answer the questions of how unique would be my product? How is it different from the competitor? No? How is it different from the mainstream product? Is it something that could help the community? Is it something that could help the environment and at the same time promotes social progress and financial sustainability? So those are um, one of the key considerations that you have to integrate prior to your business plan. No, I hope that by now you have already conceptualized your product, no, and you have already created something prior to the not implementation but creation of the business plan. And then answer also on the competitors. Who will be my potential competitors? Do we have an entity that offers the same product and services in the environment? So now, as early as now, no, look for possible competitor because with if you know your competitor, you could strategize on how to overcome the stiff competition in the market. And then of course distribution. How will you distribute your product or service? Will you use social media? Um, will you outsource a distributor? Now, if it's tangible product, okay, will you use OTAs or online travel agencies to distribute your tour package maybe? Yun, Ana. So that's distribution. And then answer also the question on who will be my target market? Who will be my customers? What type of tourists maybe would be enticed on my service and my product? Or where are these target market located? No? And the next is the location. Where will I or where will you put your business enterprise and why? It should be strategically located close to your target market and close also to your distributor, but hopefully away from the competitors. If it's close to the competition, then you need to be ready, no, on how to strategize to, of course, counteract a stiff competition. And then business size. How big is my business? Is it a small business that comprises with 1 to 9 employees only? Is it a medium business that has 10 to 49 employees? Or is it a large business enterprise that has 49 above? So we have four, no? Four business size. The micro enterprise, small, the medium, and large enterprises. So just select one and write it, discuss it. Why would you choose a small or a micro business size? Next is, these are just questions in order for you to prepare. You may look in Canvas in your asynchronous, and you will answer this as a group. So later on, after our discussion, I will ask you, to group yourselves. Next is equipment. What equipment will you need in your business planning or in your plan? You may need, um, of course, physical equipment such as car, exporting and delivering your products. Okay, and then how will you treat your customers? What would be the qualifications of your personnel? So I believe that you're also taking social entrepreneurship. And as I've said previously, on our synchronous sessions, I actually ask you to use your social entrepreneurship concept land, your concept in this tourism entrepreneurship, so that we could create tourism social enterprises. So we will not be looking into addressing the needs and wants of tourists, but also addressing, the problems of the deprived, underprivileged communities. So with the selection of the personnel, maybe you will now um, employ the people who are in the problematic community. So not just dapat sila uh 4-year college graduates. No, um, in your social entrepreneurship, you have to work and you have to help the people in the DDU community. So I would expect that your personnel are those people who are vulnerable, with high barrier employment opportunities. And then organization, set of um, people who will be working with you. And then how much would be your capital? Just a projection lang. Sir, to start our social tourism enterprise, our capital would be 500,000, 1 million, just a projection. And then profitability. How will you profit? How will you gain, um, or how will you make money on your tourism enterprise? Maybe 15% markup in the services, something like that. And then, of course, your financial sustainability. How are you going to continue the operation? How will you manage your finances? And then lastly, break even point. What would be the percentage that you could say, okay, I've already met my target. I already got my break even point. So that is not a profit, not a loss, just a break even point that could already pay your employees, pay the cost of utilities, pay other expenses. So that's your break even point. Okay, like, sir, our capital is 1 million pesos and our monthly expenses is 200,000 or 50,000 pesos. And our break even point should be 1,050,000 pesos. So that's your break even, meaning you don't have profit, but you can pay, you can respond to your responsibilities, financial responsibilities. Okay, so that's your asynchronous session um, for this week, answering all the questions, that I've mentioned. Okay, up next would be the creation of business plan. I will discuss this slowly but surely so that you could create your business plan progressively. So, di na ko siya ihatag nga diha dayon. So, dapat na siya progressive activities in the creation of your business plan. Okay, so it's already 8:22. Um, is there any question prior to the creation of the business plan? Or is there any question about the topics, for this synchronous session? Na-chat. A moment. Let me read the chat. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Ramanday. Okay. Any questions, guys? Are you still there? Or are you sleeping? It's 8:20
Hi,
early.
morning, sir.
Yes.
Kabuok members per group, sir.
Yeah, that would be fine. 8 members per group. I forgot how many who are I forgot the population of this group. So I think it's 45 man siguro, and we need 5 groups, so that's 8 or 7 to 9 members per group, or 8 members per group.
Okay.
So before answering the asynchronous activity this week, please group yourselves na and comment, not comment, but um um respond to the chat box, or post it into our Facebook group page or group chat, so that I could create na the groupings in Canvas.
Pwede rin sa if kami rin mo sud sa